Today I thought I'd do something a tiny bit different and show the two virtual machines I use the most. Now, as you can see, I have this folder named main, and that's because these three virtual machines are probably the three main machines that I use. I have a Mac OS 10 virtual machine, a Windows virtual machine, and an Ubuntu Mate virtual machine. Now, in this video, we will be looking at the Mac OS 10 virtual machine and the Ubuntu Mate virtual machine. This really doesn't need to be looked at because it is basically the same as my main system, only not because it is Windows Insider. So first, let's look at the Mac OS 10 virtual machine, and this does take a while to boot, so there's a very good chance I will just pause the recording until it's finished booting because yeah, it does take quite a while to boot sometimes. Actually, most of the time. So yeah, I will see you when this finishes booting. Okay, so we are at the login screen. And performance is probably degraded because I am doing a screen recording. It isn't all that great to begin with just because S10 is a very heavy operating system to try and run, especially in a virtual machine. But, you know, this doesn't know favors. So yeah, there's a whole lot I show because, you know, uh, it's just not a whole lot on. I haven't really needed to use it for anything super important yet. It's primarily just for fun. I can show out this Mac, and so yeah, that's not right. This is not right because my this is just my full HD. This is the 15-inch full HD panel that my ThinkPad has on it. Um, the memory panel is always funny. It says I have 128 memory slots, each of which accepts a 0 megahertz DRAM memory module, and there's one memory slot in use, which I just find really amusing because no Mac comes with that, no computer comes with that, but especially not 16-inch MacBook Pro from last year. Um, so yeah, there's not a whole lot to show here, but it's definitely to just like um, I can go in Mac Tracker because yeah, I can go in Mac Tracker, and I do have an old version of Mac Tracker from that is relatively uncommon uh, for Windows, but uh, this is the fully up to date version. Here's my Power Mac, the Power Mac G4. Yeah, it's always fun to look at Mac Tracker stuff, but for the most part, this is basically it for this machine. I have to do the System 7. Yeah, I have to do the System 7 thing. Because it lags so much when I click menus. So, that was macOS 10. Now, we can look at Ubuntu Mate. And this machine has seen considerably more use because I've been doing quite a bit with Linux and Unix lately. I have a Slackware disk, Slackware hard disk attached to the VM because I've been trying to get Slackware 8 working. Uh, no success on that front thus far. But yeah, this also takes a little bit to boot, so I guess I'll do the same thing where I just pause the recording until it finishes booting. Okay, so we have booted into Ubuntu Mate. And recently I did a video on installing this on my Lenovo ThinkPad X61, and one thing I failed to mention in that video is that Ubuntu Mate is not only nostalgic for me because I had it on my X61 for quite some time, it's also quite nostalgic for me because I started out um, using Linux with Ubuntu 10.04, which was one of the last versions to use GNOME 2, if I'm remembering correctly, and also GNOME 2 is what Mate is forked from. So I definitely feel quite a bit of connection with Mate, just because of my personal experiences with Linux. Um, yeah, this is my VM. There's also not a lot here, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, it's primarily really just your standard uh, Ubuntu VM. For those of you interested, here is NeoFetch. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's it. These are the two VMs that I use probably the most. So yeah, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. I really enjoy playing around with Linux and Unix and stuff, and virtual machines give me a great means of doing that. So yeah, thank you for watching.